Field Charanjian here with a Fungal Cleanse update. And do I go the highway of the princess or the temptation creek? So, something I've been dealing with lately in my bodily upgrades and temple worshipping. So, my body's now got all the way down and is fixing up below the abdomen, below the belly button essentially. But it's my foundation and that is being rocked by fungus removal. So, as pretty much everyone's got lower back tension, if you don't, well done. But we don't know what's there. And it's subconscious mind control. So it is our subconscious mind at the base and our foundation that is sending messages up through the spine and the nervous system, essentially controlling our existence. You know, our Muladhara, our base, our foundation, is the most important of all, really. So what I've been doing lately, as well as my usual, coffee cleansing and herbal teas and chlorophyll tip in the bot, I've been also adding a new ingredient. So when you add something new to your routine, obviously you can tell the difference of what it's doing. So I added EDTA, which is used for heavy metal chelation. And just a warning, it is an advanced move. If you're still new to cleansing, you have to heal your gut first because the heavy metals and removing heavy metals, that's the food for fungus and parasites that eat those things and put them in one particular spot to help us. And if you're going to release those sort of things, you really need to know what you're doing, because if you don't, it can put you in a psych ward. It might sound dramatic, but it can, because we've got a whole lot of, most people have got a worm farm down here and worms for brains. So if you start releasing all those worms, people are going to think you're crazy and you don't have the right protocols to do these things. You can certainly end up in a psych ward. That's what some people end up choosing. And, but that's where they end up. It's hilarious, really. So we don't need that. Anyway, back to what's happening in my body. Now that I've added the EDTA into a castor oil enema with a whole bunch of Ayurvedic oils, and sometimes in the cacao butter suppositories, what's happening is I'm feeling fantastic, super clear, fantastic energy, brilliant. But what's happening, I'm noticing, is my skin is a little bit less shiny. Granted, it's cold and coming into winter, doesn't always help the fire people. And I'm eating quite a bit of red meat because I need to nourish that foundation and having the minerals go all the way down to through the intestines and down the reproductive system into the spine, so I can nourish and absorb and rebuild from those heavy metals that are coming out. Also, what is happening is, because that tension, I've got essentially two bits of tension on either side of my spine. So I can perceive what is going up through the central nervous system. But the masculine and feminine sides, the sympathetic and parasympathetic, in that area is a little bit off. So as I'm putting in GABA, which is a neurotransmitter booster, and a few other things, a whole bunch of other things really, amino acids to rebuild that, what is happening is, especially with the heavy metals moving, I've got like little spots that are coming out on my leg. I don't know if you can see that, but they're there. And I don't really get spots nowadays. So you definitely can see which meridian line that these, skin blemishes are coming from. As my body is now essentially got the roots of a tree of tension and is reaching down to grab stored viruses and stored fungus, like in the lower parts of the body and in the legs. And you can see that in spots. Different spots come out in a certain meridian line around the feet and the ankles, that sort of thing. And of course, the fungal microbiome, having a mind of its own, doesn't really like all these changes and upgrades. So it's kind of like having the angel on one shoulder and the demons on the other. Which one do we feed? Which one's the highway? Which one's the temptation? So what's happening in my world is my foundation will rock because it's tilted to one side, to the left basically. So therefore there's, in my mind, and sometimes I can start seeing it in other people now, demons and the Baba Yaga, like feminine witches and stuff like that. And especially in the obese, the morbidly obese, they've got tons of this shit in them. Stay away from them. My suggestion, they don't realize it's there. They've created an egoic personality around that to make them feel, to attract attention, so someone will actually like them and listen to their silly stories, which are usually yucky stuff anyway. So my foundation will be rocking, and the temptation is to just vroom, go and do a 170 kilometer ultra marathon. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I could do it, but at this stage, my back and my and the nervous system would overstimulate and would be doing further long-term damage to my soul, my foundation, and my longevity strategy. So that's the demons. And also, especially in a world that has so many frequency transmissions where everyone's got to be fast, sharp. Can you do that sharpness with focused presence and nose breathing with a focused awareness of more than 5 or 10% of the picture of consciousness? That's a challenge. Very few can get anywhere near that. So, temptation is to just buzz around, work lots and lots, and do lots of ultra marathons and just, use all my energy. Or can I use it for slow practices, like I'll go to Bikram yoga, or I'll be at the gym for weights to strengthen that foundation. Because I'm noticing, even with some squats, even just 40 kilo squats, underneath my hamstrings, where there isn't, my brain is only just now becoming aware of all the hamstring tension and the fungus that is like made up the muscle and kind of eaten away at the muscle. So it's kind of a fight between rebuilding that muscle and eating away, plus taking away the toxins that are there. Yeah, it's a tricky one. And then that's all got to come up back through, but the kidney's got to pull them back up and then get it out through the intestines. There's a lot going on. And then the subtleties of the body that very few people have any idea of. Hence why I'm making the video to share. Hopefully it's helpful and learning experience. And taking action as a result. Because that's the key. So the key is whether I have clear focused presence with a shape and a focus on rebuilding my body and taking the highway straight up, or having the temptation to waste all my energy and buzz around. Yeah. Because on occasion, when that spinal tension down below around the sacral joint comes up, you can see it on the tongue and in my perception and my body, that usually my heart will catch it. So if there's a bit of fungus or a bit of tension and viruses that are released down below, my heart, because it's open and strong and clean blood, will usually catch it before it gets to the brain. So it's generally pretty good. But on occasion, if it gets to the brain, I'm like, whoa, this is what's going on, and it's hard to focus or make mistakes. So I flush that stuff out as quick as possible, usually the next day. And on occasion, when it gets to the fungus that comes out, or viruses comes to my heart, it will be supercharged out into my energy field and can trigger other people who have a fuck ton of fungus and parasites in them. And they can completely lose their shit because they are not in control of their own faculties. They're still in this stage where they're in an emotionally retarded 3 to 5 year old, which is what humanity's base and foundation is on, due to growths around the coccyx and the end of the large intestine. And they have no idea that, you know the times when when I used to lose my shit. Doesn't happen much anymore, just fucking fantastic. If I lose my shit, it's all happy and joy. Yes, you're suicidal, you're stupid, you're a Baba Yaga. It's pretty funny, really. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like, yeah, it's right there, it's written on your face. Yeah, we've all got it. So, but do we energize the temptation of the demons, or the highway of godlikeness or goddess-likeness? Choices, huh?